There you go. Welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast. And maybe you even heard that. Dave, I don't know if you cleaned that up, but who's hoping that you didn't, right? Folks, Chad Hyams here without Bob Stewart once again. I don't know if these are my favorite episodes because I get that one-on-one time with the amazing guests that I get to book, or if I miss Bob. No, it's the other one. It's the amazing time I get with the guests. Bob, we'll see you at some point. We know he'll come back. Today, I'm going to bring on an amazing guest. Yet before I get to him, I'm going to remind you, as I always do, folks, Win, Make, Give is our podcast. Yet it's only the flagship podcast in our universe, right? We're like Marvel. We've got multiverses going on. And we have so many different podcasts for you, depending what you need. So go to winmakegive.com. You can find a link to every single one of the podcasts that we have on all the different subjects. Some of my favorites that I listen to, like Brian Gubernick's No Days Off and Clint Swindoll's Tell Me Something Good. Don't miss out on those. And there are so many others. The 15-point plan that I had the pleasure of helping start. Fantastic. It's there for you. We want to bring you value in everything. Now, I said Bob's gone. I said, maybe you heard this guy speak at the beginning. I'm so excited to get into this conversation, and I'll tell you why. I get a little bit of information about the guest. Folks, you know I'm not going to read a bio. We're going to put him on the spot and have him just identify who he is and share what he wants in a moment. Yet when I get things, this is how I decide whether to book somebody for you to come speak on the show. That many of them reach out. Many of them don't make the cut. When I read on this guy's one sheet that he has cracked the code on optimizing your body, health, wealth, and life, I said, that's a guy that belongs on Win, Make, Give, where we focus on health, wealth, leadership, and legacy. So with no further ado, I want to bring to you our guest today. Can I just call you Cujo already and skip all that part? It's Coach Anthony Cudjo. Welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast.
Chad Hyams, how are you doing, King? Thank you so much for allowing me to come on your show, baby. Let's have some fun.
All right. I love when they show up and equal my energy, folks. I get some people, I give them the intro and, hi, I'm glad to be here, right? And I'm worried about that call. This is not one of those. Thank goodness Bob's out of the way. There won't be any disconnect going on.
Oh, no, Chatty. Listen, you better keep up with me, baby.
I'm ready for it, Coach. Introduce yourself to our audience. They might not know you. Maybe they haven't heard the name yet. They'll definitely know the name by the time we're done. Give us the intro you want. Let us know who Coach is.
Man, it's, really, it's not about me. And I know you probably heard that before, but it's not. It's about the audience and me being here. So I thank you for that opportunity. I am Anthony Cudjo, better known as Coach Cujo. How did I get that name, Coach Cujo? People always ask me that. I played football. When I started, I was 5 years old when I first started playing football and ended up being a pretty good athlete. I was having a game when I was a freshman in high school, and I had ran about 4 different touchdowns, and I was on the field all the time. And this commentator, he messed up my last name. Instead of calling me Anthony Cudjo, he called me Anthony Cujo. And that just stuck, Chad, so I just kind of built my life and my body around that persona. And, I'm going to show my age right now. I'm proud of my age, brother. But do you remember that movie, Stephen King, when that movie came out, Cujo?
Forget the movie. I remember reading the book before the movie even came out, scared to death of dogs, because that man can scare you with some words on a page even more than the movies can scare you.
Oh my God, he's got a multidimensional mind, man. He's an amazing person. But that movie was, it was a number one scary movie during that time. And so when he gave me that name, it just stuck like glue, man, and I ran with it.
I would think so. So, folks, we are talking with Coach Cujo, not rabid dog Cujo that's going to eat you if you get out of the car that you're currently trapped in. Coach, I know that you're all about them. It was clear in our 2-minute pregame huddle that we had, right? It was clear that you're all about the audience, their needs, their wants. You kept asking me questions about who we're talking to today. Yet just give them some of the credentials that, even though you're being modest, that'll tell people, look, this is why you're going to listen to this guy today. because he's not just some guy who played football in high school and got a really cool nickname from it. So give me some of the credentials about who you are.
Well, okay, so here's how my career started. I injured myself in my freshman year in college. I blew out my ACL, my lateral meniscus, and my lower back L3-4-5. So, Chad, if you know anything about football, if you're a fullback and you got bad knees and a bad back, your career's over.
Yeah.
So my career was over. I didn't know what to do with myself, man. I came from a long line of football players. My dad played ball. His brothers played ball. Everybody in my family was like, you're going to make it to the NFL. So, I had that weight on my shoulders. But, when I injured myself, I just really didn't know who I was anymore, man, because I played football my whole life and I thought I was going to the NFL. And all of a sudden, that game was over, so to speak. So I went into a major depression, my brother. I didn't know who I was, man. My body was broken. My mind was broken. My spirit was broken. My bank account was broken. I was broken, man. So, at the end of the day, I had to figure out a way to get myself back to a better place in my life. First of all, physically. And then, that's when I started studying kinesiology, and I wanted to understand how to put my body back together because I surely did not want to do surgery. Everything in my body, my cells were screaming at me at that time, Chad, no surgery. So I didn't do it. I told my coach I wasn't going to opt out for the surgery. I lost my scholarship. I couldn't stay on campus because my parents couldn't afford to keep me in college. So I ended up studying kinesiology, man, and I rebuilt my body. It took me about 1.5 years to rebuild my body. And then I started working with other athletes because I had friends that injured themselves as well. They had similar injuries that I had. So I wanted to help them out as much as I possibly could. I used to tell them, man, hey, listen, let surgery be your last option. Try everything else first. Try every natural remedy you can before you go to surgery, because once you've done that, once you've cut the human body, it's real hard to come back from that. So that was my philosophy at that time, and it still is my philosophy today after 38 years of helping people, traveling all over this country as a motivational health speaker for ABC and Few Productions. I own my own personal training studios. I work with professional athletes. I ended up opening up a place in 2004 in Richmond, Virginia. It was called Fitness RX, and it was my attempt to bridge the gap between allopathic medicine and homeopathic medicine. My philosophy has always been, Chad, that we are not addressing the whole human being in our Western culture of medicine. And this is why we cannot cure anything. So you have to address the whole human being. So when patients started coming into my facility, I started looking at how do I address that whole human being? And I started researching this. I mean, I'm talking about deeply researching it, brother. It drove me, man. I was like, there's something here we're not paying attention to. So I actually discovered some things after working with thousands of people. I said to myself, now I'm going to ask you a question, Chad. You're probably like, no, it's never happened. Here we are with this wonderful world, man. We're in 2025 and we got all of this technology around us. You got a computer, you got a cell phone, you got a car, you got a flat screen TV. You even got a smart home now that comes with instructions on how to use that device.
Right.
And those instructions teach you what? How to troubleshoot that device if you have any problems.
Yep.
It teaches you how to optimize that device if you want to use all of its functions to its maximum capacity.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
So let me ask you something, Chad. See, I've been on this planet, bro, for about it's going to be 60 years, October 18th this year.
Okay.
You know what? Let me tell you something. They never, ever, and they're still not doing it. They never gave me an instruction manual on how to live in my body.
All right, hang on a sec, Coach, because even if they did, like most people, we would have thrown it in a drawer and only pulled it out when we needed it at some point.
Well, guess what?
Those manuals
You're
anyway.
absolutely right. You're right. We would have thrown it in a drawer, but guess what else? The key words you said, we would have pulled it out when we needed it.
Yes.
You don't even have a manual to pull it out when you need it. What do you do when you start feeling like you have a cold? What do you do when your body is aching and aging and you want it to stop? What do you do when these things happen? Well, in our culture, what do? We run to the doctor, then we go get a medicine to manage the symptoms, and we keep it moving. And that's not the way to live in your body. Your body is an amazing, there is really no words to describe what I have discovered here, man. It's absolutely incredible.
I'm
It's
looking
incredible.
forward to more of it. Folks, we're not going to only focus on health. I want to go back to something you had said. We're going to definitely focus on health, folks. You know I love these calls because age defying is what my next book is about. One of the things you said, Coach, that I want to go back to, the depression hit when your identity basically was taken from you because you identified yourself as a football player. That's who you were. And so many of our listeners identify themselves as a business owner or identify themselves as a real estate agent or as something specific. Let's talk on just that, first of all, and the mindset that comes and the shift you went through when the identity was taken from you. Because it's not like you could become that again because of the injuries you had, right? I could go reinvent myself, and that's what you had to do. But many titles stay with us. That identity was taken. What happens when an identity is taken from us? What are the steps that happened? The depression that kicked in? How did you get around that so you didn't just become yet another person that just blames depression for everything that's going wrong in their life for the rest of your life?
Wow. That's a very deep question.
Yes. You didn't think I was just giving you softballs here, did you?
No, man. Listen, I'm ready to swing at anything
That's what
I'm ready
Bob
to swing at
brings.
anything you throw at me.
Yeah,
So
Bob
let me
brings
tell
the
you.
easy
Okay,
questions.
so
I'm
oh boy,
the
Chad, we get ready to get deep, man. You
Okay.
ready?
Let's go.
Okay, first of all, nothing is taken.
Okay.
Everything is given, Chad.
Okay.
No one can take anything from you. Your joy cannot be taken. Your nothing can be taken from you. You give it away. That's the first thing I had to understand. I give it away. Now,
So wait,
control.
even though you were injured to a point, you couldn't be a football player. I mean, you could play, I guess, with the kids in the backyard, but you weren't going to become the next NFL star that you were working towards by something that wasn't your decision and your choice. You're still saying my mind had to realize that I gave it away, though.
Yeah, but from where from the things I know now, where I'm at now, it was my choice. Everything in my life, and this is a tough conversation, brother, because it requires a tremendous amount of ownership. And this is the problem that I find with humanity and some of the clients that I work with. They're not willing to take ownership for who they really are. I had to take ownership for who I really am. First of all, I am a creative being by law. I create my life by law. See, these are the things that are the truth. These are the things that I've discovered. That internal conversation that you have, Chad, it drives every aspect of your being. What are you saying to yourself in the dark when no one's around? That's what's driving your external behaviors. Your beliefs are driving your internal behavior. So what I had to do is I had to get to a place of knowing, not believing, because when I believe, I still have a certain level of anxiety. I still have a certain level of depression. Why? Because is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Do I deserve it? All these different issues and emotions and energies hit me. But when I know something, guess what? Those energies cannot hit me because it's a different frequency. It's a different energy. You can't get an AM station on an FM band. You just can't. So you got to make a decision. I had to make a decision. You know what? I had to make a decision at that point. Who did I want to be? Not who did I think I was. I was depressed because I thought I was a football player. I was depressed because I thought I was going to the NFL. I had anxiety because I didn't know what the future held for me. I thought football was my destiny. It was not. But when I became a little bit more in depth about learning energy and understanding how to live in this body and understanding the laws of this life, the same laws apply to me that they apply to you, Chad, and everyone else that's listening to us. And these are laws that I teach. So what's so beautiful about it is that it doesn't matter where you come from or where you're going. These laws apply. Why? Because you are a human being and you are the common denominator to every aspect of your life. If you're willing to take ownership of that, then you will discover your internal power. Then you will unlock your biology, because you have some powers inside of you you don't even know. They're inside of your DNA. And you don't need, the only way you can unlock it is by a certain energy. You can't get it any other way. And so what I do is I teach people how to fundamentally unlock every single power you have inside of you. And guess what? When you unlock those powers, guess what, Chad? You don't live life with depression. You don't live life with fear. You don't live life with anxiety. You live life with powerful, conscious creation. That's where I am, brother. I create my life. I understand that internal conversation is critical. What am I saying to myself on the inside? If I'm an entrepreneur and I'm saying it's a tough journey, have you noticed that it's a tough journey when you say that? See, you're powerful and you don't even know it. Yes. Have you noticed that you say it's tough to find customers? Isn't it tough to find customers?
Yeah.
Have you noticed when you chase things, they run from you? That's the law of chase. You can't, Chad, you can't chase me unless I'm running from you. But guess what? You are, and the thing is, brother, you are a biomagnetical being by nature, which means that things are drawn to you. You don't have to chase anything. You don't.
Okay. So, Coach, we know, and I'm going to give ballpark numbers here. We've talked about it many times. We've done the research. We've heard the research from other people as well. We know you have somewhere in the area of 60,000 to 90,000 thoughts a day. We know that 90% of those thoughts are repeat thoughts. They're the same thoughts that are going on a loop around your head every single day. And sadly, the statistics show that 80% of those thoughts are negative. So
well, here's the law of those thoughts. They keep coming back because you keep choosing them. So it's energy. It's energy. So here's what I tell people. Thoughts, yes, you're absolutely right. I don't care how many thoughts you have. You may have 60,000. I may have 90,000. How do people really know, Chad? We do know that we have multiple thoughts. We have thoughts and ideas because it's part of our biology. It's the law of who you are. Okay, so the question is, Tony, how do I empower myself internally? First of all, you got to control that internal conversation. How do you do that? You have to choose the thoughts that work for you. You're going to get all kinds of thoughts by law. There's nothing you can do about it, Chad. You're going to get good thoughts, bad thoughts, thoughts with light, thoughts with darkness. You're going to get those things, man. It's part of the life that you're in. These are the laws of your being. This is the laws of our existence. Why do we have that? Because the greatest choice you have is a choice. You get a choice. Now, isn't that wonderful? You get to choose between 10,000 thoughts a day, 9,000, whatever that number is. You get to choose what works for you. And unfortunately, what people are doing, like you said, they're choosing that negative energy over and over and over again, consciously or unconsciously. They're having a negative conversation about themselves, their body, their health, their life, their existence over and over again, having negative thoughts about that. And then guess what? By law, if you think negative and you speak negative, you will act negative. It is the law.
Okay. I like breaking laws.
So, I like breaking those type of laws. But you know what? Here's the deal. I understand that law. So that's why I control my conversation. You will never hear me talk negative.
How do we control our subconscious? How do I control my subconscious thoughts that want to tell me, damn, I'm not worthy. Damn, I'm not as good as Coach here. Damn, I'm not as successful as that person sitting beside me or that other person I'm interviewing. And damn, look, why did they get so far in life?
And there you go. And that's the key. You're comparing yourself to another human being. You cannot do that, Chad. Your journey is not my journey. Your power is not my power. Your clarity is not my clarity. That's why we need each other, brother. See, at the end of the day, I don't judge myself against nothing. I don't judge myself against another human being or what they're doing. There is no competition in my life. There's just creation. I want everybody to succeed. I have no competitors. I have no enemies. You know why? Because I choose not to. I know who I am. And I teach people to learn that. Then you walk in a room with power. You control your destiny because that's what was given to you. You see, society has told us that we don't have the power to control anything, and that's not true. The way you were created, you have the power to control everything about yourself. That's the key, about yourself. I tell everybody, Chad, you're a king, you are a queen. I just told a young man that this morning, and he looked at me this morning like he couldn't believe what I just said to him. And I said, do you understand why I said that to you? And he goes, no. I said, well, let me explain it to you, brother. I said, do you have thoughts? He said, yes. I said, do you talk to yourself? He said, yes. I said, do you take actions and behaviors? I said, it's obvious that you do. You're right here in the gym and you're standing in front of me. So you do take action, don't you? He goes, yes. I said, have you realized that you're in control of the thoughts that you marinate on? So you're not in control of the thoughts that come to you. You are control of the thoughts that you hold on to. Don't get it twisted. I do get bad thoughts. I don't pay attention to them.
That's like the answer I'm waiting for, Tony.
I get them. I just don't pay attention to them. It's like going outside, man. When I see it's a cloudy day, I see all type of clouds out there. So let those clouds be your thoughts. I see dark clouds, big clouds, short clouds, long. I see all type of clouds. And you know what I do? I just stand there and look at the beauty of the diversity in the clouds, and then I just enjoy it. I don't look and judge the dark clouds and look at with anger or vindictiveness or judge. I don't do that, man. And you shouldn't do that with your thoughts either. You get to choose the thoughts you marinate on. Why not marinate on the thoughts that serve you versus the ones that don't?
Folks, you get to choose the thoughts you marinate on. That's the answer I was waiting to get from Tony here, because folks, we get those thoughts. We all get them. And what Coach is telling you here is you don't have to marinate on that one. Just let that thought go and find the positive thought. Clouds are clouds, right? Yes, they're a great example. There's the big white fluffy ones. There's these clouds. There's those clouds. There's the rain clouds. Okay, if it's my wedding day, maybe I'm looking at the rain cloud. I'm going, dang you, right? Yet, what a beautiful lightning storm I might get to light up the sky on the most important day of my life if I can look at it with the positive outlook that comes from it. Whatever that is, folks, you're going to get thoughts. You just get to choose which ones you truly marinate on. Now, before we get going to something else, Coach, I want to give the website that you've got, because you're giving everybody a consultation opportunity. You want to talk about what that looks like really briefly, and then I'll give the website, and then I'll get back to asking you questions?
Absolutely. The way I discovered this, Chad, is I found out I started focusing on the common denominator. That's the law. So I don't care who you are or what you're trying to accomplish in your life. First of all, you need your body to do it. Your body is the antenna in the connection to the divine. Your body is the antenna in connection to the metaphysical and the physical realm of life. The healthier you are, the higher your vibration, the higher your frequency becomes, just because you're a healthy individual. So at the end of the day, there's a law here that you have to follow in order for you to fully optimize yourself. See, I want to show you how to optimize yourself. You're in a magnificent body. You're in a magnificent body. And it don't matter what you're trying to accomplish. Guess what? You are the common denominator to whatever you're doing in your life. If you're trying to move up the corporate ladder, you're the common denominator. You're trying to get a better body, you're the common denominator. You're trying to increase better relationships in your life, you're the common denominator. You have to understand that you are the power to all of it so you can turn on the power to all of it. So what I'm offering to anyone who wants to discover, I don't care where you're at, man, I'm going to show you how powerful you are to overcome it, and it doesn't take a long time. We are the masters of time. And I know you're probably saying there's no way. I will show you that you are the master of time. Here's how you contact me if you want to sit down and have a conversation. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm here to help. I just want to show you something. I want to show you how powerful you are. You'll go to URH3O. U as in under, not the word you, but the letter U. H as in Harry. R as in Ralph. 3 as in the number 3. Did I say it wrong, Chad?
Yes, it's UR letters H3O. Right, yes. Just like water, but
like
free.
Water. Exactly. Right? You know what? It's so beautiful you came up with that, because that's a real deep conversation, Chad. About that's how I came up with I didn't come up with any of this, to be honest with you. It was given to me. I was told to do this years ago, and I didn't do it. And the reason why is because I was still discovering some things. And not only that, technology had to catch up. Science had to catch up to the things that I teach people, because there needs to be proof and evidence for a lot of human beings to believe things. URH3O. Yes, sir.
None of that is words. Those are all letters and a number. Okay. .com. You go there, you can connect with Tony here if you want the rabid dog chasing you down. He'll be happy to do it and show you the power in you. You've got the H3O process, right?
Yes.
Which is core here as I do my research on you, right? We got create, observe, rejuvenate, evolve.
Yes.
Let's take the rest of this podcast episode here, except for one little bit. So don't go deep into like a 30-minute monologue on each, but let's talk a little specifically on create, observe, rejuvenate, and evolve. Take it away on create.
Create. You are a creator. Once you accept that to be your truth, then we can start creating the life that you desire and deserve. I will prove to you in actionable steps where your life will change pretty quickly just by you accepting the fact that you're a creator. And then we come up with the plan of what you're trying to create. I do everything in a reverse engineer fashion. Okay. First of all, I want to know what lifestyle you want. Because that's what matters. How do you want to live? And then we're going to build around that. We're going to create the life that you desire and the life that you deserve. What's next, Chad?
Okay. Before we go on to that, though, one of the things you have here with create is you identify and eliminate emotional blocks, some of them being hidden, even emotional blocks.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about how one of our listeners out there on their own even could ask themselves these 2, 3, 5 questions, whatever it is, to really start to identify this part of me is getting in my way.
Well, the first question you got to ask yourself is, who am I? And you got to
That's
sit
a hard
there.
one because you have to be really honest.
That was a very hard one for me. And
Right.
You got to ask yourself, who am I? And then you got to ask yourself, what am I? And then you got to ask yourself, why am I? Who am I? Who am I in this physical body as a spirit? Who am I? Who am I really? Because you know what? At the end of the day, you're going to leave it all behind. I'm going to leave this body behind. I'm going to leave these memories behind. I'm going to leave this life behind. So at the end of the day, I better know who I really am. So that's the first thing, knowing who you are. Knowing what you are. Yeah. That's where you get to choose. I'm listening. You got to know what you are. I know who I am. I know what I am. I'm a human being helping other human beings optimize their bodies and their lives by understanding the biometric laws in their bodies and understanding the metaphysical and the physical laws that govern our whole existence. So I know that. What am I doing on this planet? I'm here to help people with that. So understanding those things will help you to discover who you really are. And you can't, I always tell people, Chad, you want to know this stuff before you do anything else, man, because if you don't know this stuff and you start doing other things, you're going to create some challenges for yourself that you don't have to. So there we go.
Next up is observe. So now we're recognizing some patterns holding us back. Again, what are some questions we can ask? What are some things we can look for so we can observe ourselves better, Tony, before we even get that appointment with you and talk to you about it? What can we observe and how do we go about doing it?
Well, yeah, observe the results you're getting in whatever area you think you have a challenge in your life, your business, your finances. Observe what you're getting out of that. That's the first thing. What are you receiving from that? And if it's not what you want, if it's not what you desire, then you have to start, first of all, speaking differently about it. Words are so powerful. You are speaking to yourself, like I said, your internal conversation. I'm not talking about the commercial you run all day when you leave and put your shirt on and you go out in the real world and start talking to people. No, I'm talking about when the lights are off, okay, and it's just you and you. What are you saying to yourself? Because that's going to determine if you're going to live your life powerfully or pitifully. Powerful or pitiful.
I like that. I like that. Powerfully or pitifully. Because I pity the fool, right? Love that. And again, showing the age with bringing Mr. T and the A-team into that. All right. Next up is the R. We got rejuvenate in there. I love this because so many people do not, right? They forget rejuvenation, which is going to, according to you here, increase our energy and our magnetism. Talk just a moment or two on rejuvenation. How do we get more purposeful on that?
Here's how you rejuvenate. You stop.
Oh.
The world got you going, man. They want you going 24/7. You got noise everywhere. You got videos everywhere. You got meetings. You got this. You got that. You don't ever stop. I always tell people, stop and let silence speak. Silence has a lot to tell you if you'll just stop and listen. That's how you rejuvenate. Now, you know something? Here's something that a lot of people don't know, Chad, that I discovered, which is absolutely amazing. This is why I love working with people that have sickness and disease and dysfunction in their bodies so they can see how powerful they really are. You know, your whole body, man, actually fully rejuvenates at a cellular level within 6 months. Did you know that?
I heard 7 years, but I'll go with you on 6 months.
No, it's 6 months. It's 6 months your cells have rejuvenated, but it's unfortunate because when you look in the mirror, you look the same. And the reason why you look the same, because you really haven't done a lot for the cells to rejuvenate in a completely different way. So it's just rebuilding what's already there, which is you.
Tony, I'm attempting to rejuvenate hair. It's just not working. Doing everything I can.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you about your hair right now, Chad. That's a deep belief you got, brother.
Is that my choice that I've got no hair on my head? Okay.
Yeah.
The last one here is evolve, and that's you putting together the program on what takes us from here to there, correct?
Yeah, you will evolve. You will. Here's the deal. You're evolving right now. See, evolution is the law of nature. It's the law of who you are. Your body's evolving right now inside. You don't look the same as you looked yesterday or the day before or 5, 10 years ago. You are an evolutionary being. That's something you also have to come to terms with. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that you can control your evolution.
Interesting.
You can control your evolution. You get to control how, if you're going to feel old or not. You can control if you're going to age aggressively or not. You can control if you're going to get sickness and disease in your body prematurely or not. You can control if you're going to have good finances or not. So you're in control of all of this stuff, but we've been taught that we're not. So at the end of the day, when you put these principles in place, your life will rearrange by law. Your body will rejuvenate by law. Your frequency and your vibration will change by law. And all the things that you desire, do you not realize that they are a frequency and a vibration? And the reason why you're having a difficult time getting them to come into your reality is because you won't match the frequency. You won't match the vibration. Your thoughts are not matching the frequency of your desires. Your words are not matching the frequency of your desires. Your actions are not matching the frequency of your desires. So guess what? If we can get your actions and your words and your thoughts in line harmoniously with each other, oh my God, you're going to see something that's going to blow your mind. You're going to see how powerful you are. And you're also going to realize that you have the power to create things right now, not next month, not next week, now. That's the law.
I look forward to it. The website, folks, once again, if you want to connect with Tony, urh3o.com. Those are letters, not words. Don't spell it out. It's not YOUARE. It's urh3o.com. All right, Tony, I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and I'm going to cut you off if you go over 2 minutes with this. All right. I want you to give everybody, you can go shorter, I want you to give everybody a biohack, a health hack, a something. We are in control of all that. You know health. You understand health at a high level. There are people on this call that are physical beasts. I know many of them that are just single-digit body fat percentage, marathon runner. There are people on this call that know how to eat, we'll just say, right? I mean, I got the spectrum on this call, and I want you to give everybody some health lesson that applies to everybody out there that's going to take them to the next level, whatever that is for them.
Chad, I love you, man. You've got some of the best, best questions, best direction. I love it. Okay, so this is going to be quick. This is going to be straight to the point, and this applies to every human being. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, and this is a deep discussion, but I'm not going to go deep. There's something called the Schumann resonance, which is the vibration and frequency that the earth is giving off all day, every day. It gives life to every species on this planet. Without the Schumann resonance, without that frequency, we would all perish. Okay?
Okay.
You can find that on everything I'm going to show you and tell you to do is free. You can find it on YouTube. All you have to do is search Schumann resonance, and it's going to pop up. It's a 7.83 hertz. Okay, I want you to find that frequency, and then I want you to go outside, find it on your smartphone, put your earbuds in. I want you to go outside, either your side of your house, the front of your house, or the back of your house, whichever one you decide. I want you to go outside, and I want you to stand outside barefooted on the ground. It's called grounding. I just told you you were an electronical unit, didn't I? You have to ground yourself again. This will help your health. This will help your mental clarity. This will help your connection to the divine, to all that is. So you go out there, you stand barefooted, you put your earbuds in, and you listen to 7.83 hertz. I want you to do it for at least 5 minutes. If you can do it for 10 minutes, that's even better. It's going to lower your blood pressure. It's going to open your vascular system. It's going to help your digestive system. It's going to help to rejuvenate your body. Think about it. You're like a plant. So if a plant is struggling and I put it in some good soil, it's going to have a good life, okay? Same thing applies to you, no different. So I want you to stand out there on the earth. I want you to listen to the Schumann resonance, and then I want you to only speak out what you desire in your life. Let me give you an example. When I do this, this is what I say. I've got the headphones in. I'm standing on the earth. I'm barefooted. I say this over and over and over for 5 to 10 minutes. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. Now, what that means to me is every aspect of my body is healthy. My physical body is healthy. My mind is healthy. I am healthy. I'm speaking that out immediately. I am wealthy. I have enough money to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. I am wise. I make good decisions when those decisions need to be made. I don't doubt. I don't fear. I make good decisions. So when you say this to yourself, and I want you to try it. If you can't come up with your own mantra, you're more than welcome to use the one I just gave you as an example. But I need you to do this for 30 days consistently if you can. If you can't do it 30 days consistently, get as close as possible. And then I need you to observe. Pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to how you're sleeping. Pay attention to how quickly solutions are coming to you when you have questions. Watch, because you are part of it all, and you are a very powerful human being. And you've been taught differently, and I'm here to show you that you are H3O.
Coach, do you believe in those grounding sheets they're selling me on TV?
No.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that people
here's
weren't
the deal.
doing
Let me
the
tell you
same
something,
thing.
bro. My wife has them under her desk. Let me give you something here, okay? I always tell people this. That's a better bad choice. What I mean by that is I'd rather for you to do that than nothing. Yep. Okay, technology, those mats do work, but you know what? Here's the problem. Those mats are not made out of soil. Those mats don't have minerals in them like the dirt does. You can't grow a plant on that mat. You see what I'm saying? So I would love for you to do that when you travel. My wife travels for business. Take that mat with you. It's very easy. If you're in a hotel, you can't stand out there on the grass, things like that. That mat will work for you. It's a better choice if you're traveling. But at the end of the day, I want you to go out there and stand on the earth. See, I'm gonna get you back where you belong. You know, a lot of us, let me tell you, Chad, I don't mean to be rude, but I will be real. We've been socialized out of believing in our own divinity. You are a divine being. That's the way you were created. And the quicker you get back to that understanding, the quicker you're going to get back to your power. You can't live at 50%. Okay? You can't live your life at 50%, not knowing the whole story. You need to know the whole story so you can become the whole story.
Folks, we've been talking to Coach Cujo, and you might understand the nickname a little more. That's Anthony Cudjo, we've been connecting with. You can connect with him at urh3o.com. Folks, that's a conversation that even I have to keep up with the energy on. Coach, thanks for bringing it. We appreciate the time. We appreciate everything you've shared with us today. Folks, like always, do good.